things. I have zero notes. We're just gonna freestyle and we're learning this together. But I want to make sure that some of our leaders in the culture aren't doing an old-fashioned bait and switch.
Do you want to put a sound effect on that? I don't know what that would be.
I don't have a sound effect.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. It's being shown she gets sound effects and all. All she got to do is say a little something. Now, if she say that same sentence, they clown her out the building. They call her corny, old, washed up. If she say the same thing right here, pay attention.
Joe Budden's podcast, where Melyssa Ford is talking about, oh, it might have been underage girls in there. First of all, I only like older bitches. Second of all, it was 1992. We was underage. That's A and B. I take from that, they either threw her under the bus, or they said, fuck it, let's get the ratings, or whatever they want to do. Went straight to Ice-T, fucked you in the bathroom for $2,000 when you was fucking doing waitressing. I didn't even go there.
Call me your sister. Don't call me your sister when niggas throwing bitches and hoes and prostitute around and you niggas ducking for cover. But it's a show.
We said a little something, I ain't even say nothing. I said, fuck the bitch don't know what she talking about, whatever. So, yesterday, whatever day, she issues an apology. I'm like, nah, don't apologize.
Big out. But there ain't nowhere in America a man can talk to a woman around me a certain way. I don't give a fuck what she said. Especially if she apologized.
That I'm saying and understand my meaning. I'm really nice.
Before Melyssa Ford packed up and moved to New York City from LA and left her life behind to commit to the Joe Budden podcast, if you ask me, I would say in her mind, there was nowhere that I felt like you niggas was committed to misunderstanding what I say. You niggas didn't say nothing last time. I got all kind of shit off. I just showed y'all the video. You might have to come to Patreon to see it. YouTube, you know how they move. But I just showed y'all the video. This ain't one of them kind of things. I'm telling you, I'm showing you. I'm doing both. This is show and tell. I wouldn't have moved away from LA over here for some niggas that are committed to misunderstanding what comes out of my mouth. Now, does that make for great podcasting? Yeah, but now it's affecting things because people see how you treat your kids and they treat them the same way. In this segment, we dive into the recent eruption in the hip-hop community podcasting world, stemming from the Joe Budden podcast. The controversy was ignited when Melyssa Ford, co-host of the podcast and former video vixen, commented on a story shared by Camron about a wild brothel visit in the 90s. Ford raised the question of whether there could be underage girls at the location, a suggestion that sparked immediate backlash from her co-hosts, including Joe Budden, who criticized her for making such a claim. The situation escalated when Camron responded fiercely, not only denying the suggestions, but also retaliating with personal attacks against Ford. He threatened legal action and deportation, making provocative comments on his sports talk show It Is What It Is and on Instagram Live. Camron's response was marked by a mixture of denial, aggression, and a threat of a defamation lawsuit as he challenged the authenticity of Ford's apology. As we explore this controversy, we'll discuss the implications of such public disputes in the hip-hop world, the role of podcasting as a new frontier in the media, complex dynamics of personal narratives intersecting with public discourse. Let's take a look at some of the videos. Basically, Camron and Mase was just talking about an encounter they had with a young lady. They were underage. Melyssa Ford, this was her commentary on the Joe Budden podcast. Pay attention.
That is not exactly the way that I remember that story happening.
I don't think that's right what you're doing. I don't think that's right.
What speak to is what it's like to be a podcaster, especially a woman in a position where you podcasting with several men in that environment. Today, we're going to take note of a few things. I have zero notes. We just gonna freestyle, and we're learning this together. We're working through this together. But I want to make sure that some of our leaders in the culture aren't doing an old-fashioned bait and switch. Sometimes when I see Melyssa Ford sit on that couch, the treatment that I see that come towards Melyssa Ford, all in the name of entertainment, and that they're operating on a thin line. It's thin ice they on. But I don't think that it was pitched this way to Melyssa Ford. Let's deal with the Camron and Melyssa thing. 100% wrong that she said that. I don't agree with her saying that. Why did she say it becomes the new question. As you take notice, when Camron fired back at them, he made sure to fire at Joe, and he fired at another guy over there that he feels like, yo, I gave you so many looks. You begged to wear my clothes. Like, come on, I know you. Nigga, you love my style. Even if he misinterpreted that, the way he handled that told me so much about that relationship. It's like, you know you a little nigga. Stop it. Your cosign only worked from some niggas I cosign. Say, you got a cosign from some niggas that I cosign, and they cosign the nigga that cosign the niggas you got your Man, sit down. Everybody come from a long list of real ones, though, right? So I appreciate all the real ones. That's north, east, west, south. That's everywhere in the world. But Camron made sure that he wrapped all them dudes around in that he know, like, they let this go out. Something was up with this. I didn't see their reaction. Literally my first time watching their reaction right on camera. What I do know, though, is that they're pushing back, and that looks good. And that means that they're standing on the right side of history as it pertains to her interaction with this topic. But what kind of atmosphere do they have for Melyssa Ford over there now? Do they tell her she don't talk enough? Do they tell her she need to talk more? Do they tell her that she give boring stories? So is she trying to spice it up? Does she see Flip do a certain thing and Joe do a certain? Does she think this is what you do? Is this spicing it up? Y'all ain't directing me. Y'all just is debunking me. Ain't nobody directing me. They debunking me. So I'm trying to find a way to. They saying I need to add more value. They bringing other girls up here. They telling me, I don't know now. Am I in contract time coming up? Do I need to? And so, in my opinion, as Melyssa Ford tries to search for a way to be accepted by these guys in this work environment, right? Because what I see her doing is, I'm just speaking about clearly on camera being effective on the mic. Joe Budden, Melyssa Ford. This is how the butt of the jokes go on this show. Joe Budden is first, which he makes all the money. So I guess that goes with it. He's built a platform around that. It kind of has moved away from it now because the lines no longer are blurred. I'm paying everybody here. At first, there was blurred lines a little bit, so he was kind of the butt of the jokes, and he was rolling with that. Still, sometimes he's the butt of the jokes, but I think the environment changes. But how does Melyssa Ford fit in that? Does anybody take that into consideration? Listen, these comments were wrong. We're no longer talking about the comments in which she accused Camron and Mase of being involved in anything illegal. I'm only speaking about the environment that they have created for this woman to even exemplify whatever she got. For her to even give it a fair shake. What you will find is in this space, a lot of times when a woman go to talking, they'll get cut off really quick. Like, yo, you taking too long. Yo, you're not funny. Yo, that wasn't it. Yo, that never was. Yo, you can't do it. Yo, it was this. Yo, it's the butt of the joke. This is podcasting for black men, right? Downgrading each other on a co-host perspective. That's why I tend to not understand it, because I don't have a co-host. So when I see it, I'm like, yo, damn, what is that? Is they playing a game? If you pay attention, when I interviewed Adam 22 a couple of years ago, and I went out there and I said, yo, man, is this like a joke? Is this a game with you and academics? Like, I'll say certain things to each other, and it's like, is this real? Because you can be trying to captivate your audience, and you might detonate a bomb. You might activate some shit all there trying to captivate my audience. all that trying to get my audience from me, nigga. You might run into a real issue you might offend me trying to steal my audience. And not because you stealing my audience, but what you saying by way of trying to steal my audience might put, man, let's stay, like, it gets slippery. But some of y'all think it's all internet. But I think back and I ask myself,
Dude, Johnson, you ain't got enough sense up here to handle no whole lot of hoes. I'm a whole handler. I know pimpology. Okay? If I do a lot of reading, you got to keep on reading. I got 10 years on you.
over here on this side, to us, it's just pointing out the obvious. I don't know how other people are seeing it. I don't know how they're viewing it. But I say, yo, something is off about how she's being treated. Maybe behind the scenes, there's something that they don't appreciate. Maybe she's not communicating. Something's happening, though. Something's happening. Let's take a trip down memory lane. This next clip, it's going to be Melyssa Ford's first time on the Joe Budden podcast. Pay attention to the environment. Pay attention to the nature of the conversation. The floor is yours. It's a totally different atmosphere now. Again, not speaking to why. But I know she's struggling with trying to find where to fit in this thing of ours. Because if I say nothing, that gets us nowhere. And if I say something, that turns into the conversation. Why would you think it's that, man? Is that seriously what you think? Is that how you girls think? Is that what you... It's a lot of that. Now, respectfully, could be pardoned. But let's pay attention to it. Here's the first episode. First, you see a couple of comments on the screen. Watching this over again 9 months later, it was great. And I feel like now I know why she's a part of the show. We don't see this side as much. I feel like she's toned down her personality to be a part of the show so she doesn't come off a certain way to the guys. They gave her a lot of room to speak on here, and they showed interest in her, what she was saying. Pay attention now.
Just did not want to be a statistic. I just didn't.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Always.
Is the current you dating?
No, not at all. Not at all. I am dead from the neck down.
You better laugh. You better turn red, motherfucker. I'm waiting for you to turn red.
Do you want to put a sound effect on that? I don't know what that would be.
I don't have a sound effect.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
She gets sound effects and all. See the love that's being shown? She gets sound effects and all. All she got to do is say a little something. Now, if she say that same sentence, they clown her out the building. They call her corny, old, washed up. If she say the same thing right here, pay attention. But this is how again, I want podcasters to pay attention to the development of characters in the podcasting space. Because you got to be in control of the development of your character, or people will place you in a spot and you will become the butt of the show. Pay attention.
Listen. If anybody's listening, listening that wants to bring me back to life, hop in my DMs.
Wait, what?
I was not expecting that. That's all it takes? Holy shit.
I might not see it because my DMs are a fucking shambles.
Oh my God.
However, I am.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
I'm feeling very dead from the neck down.
Hold on, let's pay attention to the demeanor of Melyssa Ford at this moment. Let's just look at demeanor. How uppity she is. It just seems like she's just ready to rock and roll. It just seems like she's having a great time. Like now when she's sitting over there, it doesn't give this. It seems like when she first got there, the invitation was pure. It was a beautiful situation. Just look. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
I'm feeling very dead from the neck down. I'm very like.
But that's what? But that's by choice. Stop it. Stop it.
Is it really by choice?
Melyssa.
Yes. By choice.
Melissa, shut the fuck
Is
up.
it really by choice?
Yes. To answer your question, yes.
Yeah,
Answer your own question.
we're telling you yes.
Listen, let me tell you something. Okay, let's pull this concept.
Now you see how Now let her keep going.
The sexual desire.
Choice. They're saying there's no way you could be single by force, right? This is what they're saying. Every conversation now is like, you can't really get nobody, or you get a lane, or right. And again, some of it is podcasting, but this atmosphere leads to, in my opinion, bad decision making on her behalf as she's trying to search and score points on a crowded court.
I don't know what that is. Help me.
Oh shit.
Nah, you know I'm a talker. So
tell her.
Conversation make my dick hard.
Nice. Okay.
Why you looking at Ice? Yo, you make. I didn't even know you was looking at nigga, man. Feet. This nigga. Oh yeah, pretty feet make my. I like feet. I like legs. This nigga's such a bitch.
Ooh, you see.
Oh yeah, pretty feet make my. I like feet. I like legs. This nigga's such a bitch.
Ooh, you see.
Oh yeah, pretty feet make my. I like feet. I like legs. This nigga's such a bitch.
Ooh, you see.
Oh yeah, pretty feet make my. I like feet. I like legs. This nigga's such a bitch.
Ooh, you sapiosexual.
Nah, she got a dead ass. Nah, her feet is out today,
They're
son.
kinda cute. They're kinda cute. Look, no
look.
bunions, no trunnions, no corns,
Oh, shit, that
no nothing.
ish.
You see that?
The direction of the conversation, the respect they're giving her, the leeway they're giving her, right? And some people will say that may have played against them in this instance, but I disagree. I think the atmosphere has led to her trying to fit in this crazy world they've created over there. They've allowed Queen's Flip to come and change the whole fabric of the show. Now the show is turned into something that I'm like, yo, this ain't what I thought they were gonna do, even though it's working. It's definitely doing something. I don't know to what extent, but I know it's working. I know it's moving. I know people are listening, watching, right? I see the growth of it. I'm not naive to that. What I do know, though, is, number one, let's just put it all on the floor. When you've allowed the show to be changed in that way, I don't know if you can change it back. It's like the first time WWF allowed Ric Flair to cut itself. Enough of that. So again, we're just looking at how they interact with each other in real time when she first got there. I think the environment is switched on Melyssa Ford. I think the atmosphere has been altered. I think these guys have now started to treat her in a different way, and she's just trying to earn her buckets. Boy, they doing switch in and outs over here. It's all kind of, this shit is what's the, man, I'm trying to get my points up and be relevant in some conversations and try to be the woman's side, or at least what I think the woman's side. Again, wrong. But they encourage her to speak up more, even when she don't know about topics. They want her to provide the woman's side of things. That's what you hire a female co-host for.
So I was talking about, the actual year I was talking about was 1992. We was in a whorehouse. And we just laughing, having fun. And we saying, whatever, we was in the whorehouse. Mase, Mase don't always give me permission to talk about our old stories because, he's a man of God and he got other shit going on, but he remembers his past sometimes, so sometimes he let me talk. Anyway, I'm talking about this time we in the whorehouse and all that shit. Talking about we slid a bitch, all this shit. Cool, whatever. I see a clip where on Joe Budden's podcast where Melyssa Ford is talking about, it might have been underage girls in there. First of all, I only like older bitches. Second of all, it was 1992. We was underage. That's A and B. We wasn't supposed to be in there. We wasn't 18. I just turned motherfucking 16. I ain't even defending myself on that nonsense. You're not even from this country. I don't know what the fuck was going on in the whorehouses in Canada or wherever you from or whatever pedophile shit they on, wherever you from. We not on that. I ain't even going into that. More of the story, she said it. Knowing the times we in, Joe Buttons and them went in on her or whatever. They're like, yo, that's some serious allegations, this, that, and the third. But they didn't edit it out. So from two things I take from that, they either threw her under the bus or they said, fuck it, let's get the ratings or whatever they want to do. Either way it came out, it could have been edited out. It wasn't live like I'm doing live right now. So I ignored it because it was nonsense. So I ignored the shit. We said a little something on our show, but we don't get that. We don't give. See, we don't give this type of energy I'm doing on live. That type of business on our show, my nigga. Our shit is sports and our fun. So this energy don't go on our show. This Cam energy on my own personal time. So we said a little something. I ain't even say nothing. I said, fuck the bitch. The bitch don't know what she talking about, whatever. So yesterday, whatever day, she issues an apology. I'm like, nah, don't apologize. Because I was going to address it when I felt like addressing it. But the reason I addressed it yesterday is because it's like, yo, you say that foul shit? Because that's some foul shit to say. Man felt like that shit, like, and the times when for you to make them type of allegations, don't know what the fuck you talking about? You serious? Come on, my nigga. Come on, my nigga. Stop playing with niggas, man. Anyway, she tried to apologize, and I said to myself, nah, because if I address it in a month or whenever I felt like addressing it, people gonna be like, oh, Kim, she apologized, leave it alone. You can't just say shit like that, and 3 days later, 2 days later, be like, oh, my bad, I wasn't thinking. You damn right you wasn't thinking. You wasn't thinking. Y'all shouldn't have said that. You know, that's some serious allegations. Why say that in the beginning? You're not even from here. You're not even from this country. I could have went straight to Ice-T, fucked you in the bathroom for $2,000 when you was fucking doing waitressing. I didn't even go there.
So with this Melyssa Ford and Joe Budden situation, as it pertains to Camron, I want to jump into something that just dropped today, and I'm sure on YouTube you guys won't be able to get this. It'll have to be cut out because of how Joe Budden and his team works, right? They let certain people use the content. I guess I'm not one of those people, even though these things are transformative in nature, right? I'm not just uploading something with these people's stuff. I'm kind of reacting to it like a lot of the market does. And so we're going to talk about this. This last portion of this conversation, you've been hearing me speak about the way that Melyssa Ford spoke about Camron and Mase as they had a conversation about being in a brothel, and those two guys encountered a woman, and the night went on, and there was some things happened that caused for Melyssa Ford to make some remarks that may have not been in the best of taste. And while I agree with Camron that you don't make those accusations, I'm more focused on the in-house. Because again, what we see from Joe Budden is I think that he has a lot of opportunity to be a better leader. I think what we look at with Rory and Mal, we see someone who clearly dropped the ball from a leadership standpoint. I think if he would have been able to have more of an open door policy or more understanding as it pertains to their expectations, because clearly something was off. And as the leader, when I find my team in there unhappy, I don't come in and fire the team. I don't come in and break the team up and get in my feelings. Again, this industry will put you in your feelings. These niggas be in their emotions, brother. At an all-time high, in their emotions in a way that a woman is. Not saying they women, but a lot of these niggas, some of these niggas y'all think is well put together, these niggas is emotional men. They was raised by women and they act like women. You also seen me speak to Melyssa Ford's first collaboration with Joe Budden and how the atmosphere was totally different. I wanted to highlight that because I think that this is a cautionary tale of how this industry can do a bait and switch. When I need you, I treat you a certain way. When I no longer need you, it get different. I don't speak these words to go against Joe. I don't know Joe. I don't have a personal issue with Joe. I think the game deserves for us to call out the fouls. I'm a fan of the NBA, the NFL. I'm a fan of boxing. I think we need scorekeepers. I think that's where hip-hop messed up at. Ain't nobody keeping score. They just going off face cards. He been famous the longest. We should listen to him. He ain't never been famous. We shouldn't listen to him. When you got, boy, it's a lot I could get to. It's a lot I could get to. Let's get back on subject, bro. I love podcasting, though. I also spoke to Melyssa Ford as it pertains to her trying to find a way, find a footing, as they introduced this weird COE era where they let Queens Flip come and change the very texture of the show. And I think that this will be a long fall down if he doesn't have some sort of move once Flip leaves, if he leaves, because he's now changed the texture of the show. It's like the chef letting the sous chef come in and put an ingredient in the chicken that you can't even do with your regular kitchen staff. Whatever you come over here and do, we need to either be able to steal from you or we need to be able to cook that with our regular kitchen staff. You can probably assume that the Ish and Ice guy won't go nowhere. Not sure about Melyssa Ford. I think their relationships is on the rocks. That's why we're talking about it here today. But I want to get to this that just dropped today. And this is our last part of the year, so hopefully y'all enjoy it. We got a lot we talking about. As the universe will be perfect and have it, and as much as that conversation that I was having was ringing true as we are recording, Joe and them just dropped something, and I want to watch it. I think they're talking about Melyssa Ford's interactions over the last couple of weeks and how they've played into this. We will not spend a lot more time on this Joe Budden, Melyssa Ford, Camron topic. We got a lot to get to. Surrounded by 5 different men's opinions. So to be the sole woman's opinion, for them to not to really incorporate that into their understanding. However, you are on a podcast, I get that. In the event you're dealing with someone that's been in this industry for a long time, or at least running alongside the music industry, you ask yourself, if I'm Melyssa Ford, I say, damn, I spent 20 years. 20 years to not be a perfect person, but to at least try to keep my industry image as tailor-made to the scenario that I may find myself in as I could. She's always tried to keep it, I'm good looking, I'm easy to deal with, I'm pleasant. I try to come off this way. Only to get up here with Joe Budden for a couple $1,000s and ruin that 20 or 30 year legacy by way of commenting on a podcast that we record 20 or 30 hours a week of. And I didn't really sign up for this. Again, rewind some, you see her interaction at first, they gave her the floor. Even when she threw some of these little corny jokes that she throws, right? She throws these little jokes that's kind of corny. They let them live. Now they don't. Again, I understand character development, but I don't really think I can agree or relate to any woman standing by me and being attacked by men. Yo, homie, she said what she said. She apologized. You ain't gonna handle her like that, though. And that may be me dragging shit from the underworld to the mainstream, and that may not got no business up here. I still don't know. I'm trying to figure out. But there ain't nowhere in America a man can talk to a woman around me a certain way. I don't give a fuck what she said. Especially if she apologized. And don't call me your sister. Don't call me your sister when niggas throwing bitches and hoes and prostitute around and you niggas ducking for cover. But it's a show. And that's where they trick you in this industry. Oh, but it's business. But then when we get out there, hey man, I want to treat you like family. This is a family thing. But then we get in the board, it's business. Well, which one y'all confusing the hell out of me? Is it business? Is it family? Is it real? Is it fake? Are you telling the truth? Are you lying? Imagine what they're doing to the people following their blueprint if they're confusing the very people on the couch next to them. You got a girl on the couch next to some of these guys that don't even know what we doing here. Continue to listen to her explain.
I see where you're going with
compared to her.
How many of y'all deal with women? You know when she's trying to talk to you and you one of them dudes that whether you do or you don't, whether you think you are or you not, again, As you get older, you understand it's about how you being received. I spoke about this 100 episodes ago. I don't even care what I'm saying. It's more important how I'm being received, at least by the people I need to receive me warm, whole. I need them to know I'm vulnerable when need be. I'm powerful when need be. I'm strong when need be. You dig? I need them to know this, right? So the people that need to receive me in a way, I need to be able to communicate that and get that to them. But I've been around women that thought that I was closed off, and at a certain point, emotions flare. And in their mind, I'm no longer listening. And even if I'm listening, I'm not incorporating it in my response, what even they said. And the more I listen to women, I hear that. Sometimes men will sit there and listen. Listening and hearing is different. So oftentimes I hear from them, yo, dudes will listen, but by way of their actions, I don't think they incorporated what I told them into their understanding. Because now they may respond to something that we're talking about, and in their response, I don't see any remnants of anything I said. That's a peek into her mindset about when I'm communicating with these gentlemen, it doesn't seem like they are even listening. They're ready to attack me before I can even get through it. For Melyssa Ford, she was definitely just cooking. Something she said there I believe is extremely important and valuable to the understanding of what's happening there. She said there's a commitment to misunderstanding what I say. And God knows it didn't start that way. I wouldn't have moved away from LA over here for some niggas that are committed to misunderstanding what comes out of my mouth. Now, does that make for great podcasting? Yeah, but now it's affecting things because people see how you treat your kids and they treat them the same way. When the teachers see me and they see how I handle my children, their expectations of my children better resemble that. When you see how I handle my car and clean my home, or handle my loved ones, or the things I appreciate, it better resemble that in your actions, or we got a problem. And so if they see me beat my children, they think it's okay to give them a whooping. If they see me reason with my children, if they see me reason with them, correct them, but reason with them. Explain to them. That tell them that they need to be quick with their understanding and they better be slow with trying to just handle them any kind of way. Think about that one. It may cost you something. Can you afford it now becomes the question. Because once you do it, there's no more conversation. The question becomes for you and yours, can you afford that? Because what you just did cost you something. The police can't stop it, God can't stop it. There's a cost for everything that's being done. And so let me wrap that back around to Melyssa Ford. On camera. Before Melyssa Ford packed up and moved to New York City from LA and left a life behind to commit to the Joe Budden podcast, if you ask me, I would say in her mind, there was nowhere that I felt like you niggas was committed to misunderstanding what I say. You niggas didn't say nothing last time. I got all kind of shit off. I just showed y'all the video. You might have to come to Patreon to see it. YouTube, you know how they move. But I just showed y'all the video. This ain't one of them kind of things. I'm telling you, I'm showing you. I'm doing both. This is show and tell. I believe what happened was the understanding. And again, we're podcasting. This is Big Loon you listening to. The loudest popping all entertainment, VG, the media's vanguard. I am because we are, not we are because I am. I believe when they first encountered Melyssa Ford, Joe Budden was in a very strange situation. He had a couple of guys on there that he felt like the conversations were getting really stale. And although it was maintaining a fan base, it was maintaining a certain consumption rate. They worked hard, but it wasn't bearing any fruits. The tree wasn't giving us any new fruits, any new sources of income, anything we can do, any more capital. It was just like stuck at a point, and Joe was doing a lot of heavy lifting. They brought in Melyssa Ford. The acquisition of Melyssa Ford, to me, what I think happened was they said, yo, just bring you, just be you. I don't believe there was nowhere in any kind of understanding that you would have to sit here and talk about Camron and Mase. or some of these things and your takes will come out, and I think this was good what she said, but they'll seem like it would be a commitment to misunderstanding your take, while everyone else would either be applauded or there would be a respectable debate. There wouldn't be a shunning of your understanding and whatever. You really think that? Oh my God, you gotta be one of the dumbest mother. Right? It was that. And maybe Joe and them don't know that because that's part of the entertainment factor. I can imagine in Melyssa Ford's mind, you hear her say, yo, I ain't never been ribbed on. I really don't know what that's like to be around men that's like talking about you. Like, what the fuck is that? And they're trying to say, yo, it's pod. And this is what podcast is. Like, me and dude talk about each other and we cool. Me and this other guy, that we really are friends, but we throw them back and forth. This is pod. She's like, yo, wow, that's really unfamiliar for me. I don't really get out like that or know about that. So now you ask yourself, how do you take and make, at least in her mind, when I show up, first I was the star of the scene. Now you make me the butt of the joke. It seems like we get into these weird segments where it's at my expense. And what it feels like Joe Nim is trying to tell her is that everybody got their little segment where it's at their expense. 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's at your expense for these 20. You know how we get on. It's kind of at your expense. You know, they be getting on the light-skinned gentleman that's there. They get on him. They get on the other guy. They get on a few of these guys. And they call it entertainment. It's a good point. I will give him that. That's a great point. If for those of you that are on YouTube that didn't see that part, Joe Budden was speaking about, yo, it's all good to say some stuff and we bag you on it, but when you come in and you say, yo, I don't remember that, or I said it wrong, or something like that, it's like, oh shit, like, it costs too much to be wrong in that way. Like, think about what you're gonna say so that even in the wrong, you can at least tell us your thinking behind it. But to come here and abandon ship, to come here and abandon everything you said, that's what a problem is. If I'm thinking what he's thinking. And I can't lie, that makes sense. But I'm speaking more so of how the coach handled the team. I think he's right about that. But I think it speaks to her emotions. I think it's like having a woman in the house that's unhappy. And she complaining when ain't nobody looking, then she's starting to take it to the public. And you saying, listen, this ain't the time. I'm running for office. You niggas sound like you're running for office. You see what I'm saying? Like you're going for governor or something. Right? Because when you think about the reason why she's now doing that is because, homie, this is how she feels. But I truly do understand this other side of it where it's like, yo, shorty, although you feel alienated because we do these things in the interest of this thing, and it could get blurry, but it seems to be a pattern with Joe that people working next to him, the lines get blurred in some way. Respect, disrespect, friends, enemies, business partners, revenue sharers, workers, bosses, A mics, B mic. Like, it's just a thing happening. I can see how they feel about her tweeting something that was disparaging to them. But at the end of the day, you hear them talk about Camron. I'll say this in closing. There's nobody in this world that'll make me believe that regardless of what's being said by that beautiful young lady that's next to Camron and Mase, that there will be no one in this industry that takes shots at them and call them bitches and hoes and talk about them in a way while they sit next to those guys and that don't affect their relationship. I don't see them letting that happen without them standing up about that and then at least taking some kind of position about that. Like, homie, she apologized. Like, after she apologized, you niggas gonna swing like that? Bitch, stand on your apology. Damn, these niggas want war. This really about the Joe Budden nigga, ain't it? What is this about? All these niggas want problems. We don't want no problem, but we definitely ain't ducking no problem. These niggas want problems. They want problems. The fuck I look like? You dig? This ain't no content shit. I'm talking about from my standpoint. Again, I'm fresh out the sauna. I'm fresh out the sauna. So I'm still sweating. I'm still hot, boy. So I'm still looking at things a little different. My understanding ain't how y'all niggas in this entertainment industry is. So it's like, that's why you don't hear me do too much. I talk about the information. I talk about the things surrounding the business moves and the indicators. I try to keep up with the industries, the information. I'm one of them kind. So I try to steer away from that other shit. It's just the truth said before everybody knows the truth is dangerous. Becomes radioactive. And I deal with that, and I'm okay with that because I know I'll be correct, and the future favors the brave and the bold and the willing and the understanding. But Camron can't make me believe he'll let some nigga call that girl bitches and hoes after he done apologized. That's just me. That's how I think about Camron. I feel as though Camron one of them niggas like me. Yo, you don't just handle no woman that's next to me like you don't just, we ain't doing that, bro. Just like ain't no bitch gonna handle me no any kind of way. She ain't finna just let no woman just do me any kind of way. But maybe Joe and them feel like Melyssa ain't stepping up for us. It ain't that type thing. So let's not use the sister word, the family I love you word. That's that rap game industry bullshit. I love you. La Familia on the back of these nigga record labels and they got you in fucked up contracts. That's this business shit. That's this industry shit. These niggas hug you and they ain't willing to help you. These niggas will talk you out of being cool with niggas that helped you just for them to laugh at you when you fall off. This that industry shit. Sister, family, loved one, I love you. Gang, gang, all this is industry talk when a lot of these dudes is selling shit and they know it's bullshit. Joe Budden is seeing the indicators. He know that something's happening here. And so in closing, I just think we need to keep an eye out on Melyssa Ford. Again, I'm connected with some pretty powerful people. I'm a pretty powerful man myself. I think Melyssa Ford, we can match that contract if you're uncomfortable. Just in the interest of, you know, making sure that everyone is comfortable, not trying to do on no, like, because by all means, you know, I think that's a great show over there. That's why I haven't broke it up. I think the podcast is great. But in the event that you know, you've moved from LA and find yourself in need of work because you no longer want to have a CEO all in your videos. Now, I wish y'all the best over there. Y'all clean that shit up, man. Y'all clean that shit up. Let's move on. I want to speak about Honeycomb Bra. For those of you who don't know, Honeycomb Bra is an Alabama rapper, native, that you may be familiar with his name, unfortunately, from the untimely demise of his grandparents that were killed and the house caught on fire. Down in Alabama, he has ties with Jay Prince. Just got out of jail from doing a bid. When he got out of jail, him and Finesse 2 times were going at each other. This was something I think I'm going to speak a little bit about this here in a second. But I want to focus on Honeycomb Bra being rearrested. For some reason now, I think he was in a car with a couple of individuals and a firearm was found, controlled substance. He probably done been out 60 days, but they won't let him leave the town. So when you won't let me leave, then it's almost like you won't let me breathe. I can't get a breath of fresh air around here. It's death in the air. Get serious out there. And people in them offices don't give a damn about that. They don't even much know it till it's too late. Nigga be dead somewhere and then they just get the paperwork saying that one of the people that's on probation out of their office is no longer here and they move on to the next name to call in for a drug test. It's a dirty game. Human life, once you become a criminal, that's a whole nother conversation. Do they devalue human life after you make a mistake? Of course, you sign all your rights over. They say your vote don't count, but you can work for free. Your vote don't count, but they can get you a job somewhere doing something for little or nothing, hurting your back. We can work you, but nigga, your vote don't weigh nothing because you made a mistake. What if I can tell you exactly why I made the mistake? But y'all won't listen. And the only way you fix the problem is somebody that had the problem tell you the symptoms of the problem. But Honeycomb Bra was rearrested over a firearm. I can't lie, man. I'm disappointed in rappers, though. Not because they make mistakes, because we all make them. I think it's more so about them seizing the moment. and keep waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm saying turn your people up, turn that shit on. Everything you got, turn every eye on the stove on. It's time right now, not next year, not the next year. It's time right now, homie. You feel like you on fire. You don't know when that shit gonna go out. I know it don't seem like it's gonna go out, boy. That shit seem like it's gonna be lit. You ain't the only one was wrong. I be hot at them for not seizing the moment and getting their bags. But I be understanding what it's like being in those environments and where you rolling the dice. They talking about don't be with a gun. Don't be around nobody with a gun. What you mean? How is that possible? All right, well, let me leave. I won't. Well, now you can't leave. We got to keep an eye on you. Say, don't you know what I done been through around here? Don't you know the level of shit this? I see it all the time, even in this town, even every town. I see it all the time. They don't even value human life, my nigga. You can say it's all kind of war going on. I'm saying as much as I can without telling on some niggas. I can't stay around here. I try to use, I'm a rapper, I'm a celebrity, I'm a ball player, I'm an athlete, I'm a philanthropist. I do writing, I do pardon, I do this. I don't nothing work. They want me to stay in the jungle. They want me to be king of the jungle. It's easy to take him out. It's life outside the jungle. So as I find life outside the jungle, they don't want to let me do that. You know how dangerous a lion is downtown? You know how dangerous a lion is somewhere in a suburban area? They need him to stay out in the wild, in the wood. They need him to stay out. Yeah. And people don't understand that. Like, I remember telling some people, some elected officials in my city, right? I remember having a conversation with them and telling them, like, yo, you don't know what it's like to have to shut a corner store with a nigga that killed your brother. Nah, everybody live in this little area. It's like a 5 or 10 mile radius. All us still live in this little area. So my mama go to that Walmart. Them niggas mama go to that Walmart. Like, I gotta share these stores, these gas stations with the niggas that kill somebody I love, my nigga. So they put me out there as a target, as a rapper. I get out, get a bag, get with some high quality, high price nigga. They put me in the middle of that war and tell me to survive a year, and then we may consider it. We know you change when you survive without a gun in a place where they kill people you love, where you may be involved in some things where people are killing people you love. I watched them go back and forth with Finesse 2 times, and that was that energy. And I said, yo, that energy hard to keep online. I know a lot of niggas try to do this shit for entertainment. A lot of these niggas are fake beef at first and really end up into it. First it started by some clout. Nigga, I really don't like this nigga now. That nigga was just trying to stream over there talking dumb shit. Now we really don't like this little nigga. Like, we really got a disdain for you, nigga. You were chasing views. Now you done caught an enemy. All that chasing views, you done caught up with an enemy now. You done got yourself some new enemies by chasing them views. That shit hard to keep online. But what happens is, unlike rappers, a lot of these content guys can just hide out. Or when they move around, move with the police. These rap niggas, it get expensive to move 2-3 days a week in different towns with all this security and moving around. Like, it get expensive. And some niggas can do it, but all you $15,000 a show niggas, 10 grand a show niggas, now, when you got to start paying out high price security and then you leaving every show with $4,500, which, again, for your safety, that's the rules that might be the rules you got to play under. But I'm saying a lot of people too selfish to do that. They come from nothing. Niggas trying to keep everything. They don't want to get a lawyer, nothing, the accountant, the manager, nobody. I'm trying to keep it all. And so when you go live like that and you one of them guys from your town that law enforcement may take you serious, or they don't know if you're serious. They know you ain't playing because you ain't known to be a player, somebody faking and fronting. Ain't nobody got them stories about you faking and fronting. Nigga can go live right now and turn the violence up in the town just by saying certain shit. I remember back when I was younger, nigga Gucci them, nigga, that's how somebody got killed. Just off going on a song, yo, get that nigga chain for me. Nigga can raise the violence off some of these niggas' mouthpieces. And so when law enforcement see you going back and forth with this dude, even though you laughing and joking, they may say, nah, that's a beef. Keep an eye out on these guys. And most likely he got a gun. We don't know. And you got to think about that. Now, what's crazy about Honeycomb Bra, in my opinion, could be wrong. But he might have done some damage to Finesse image a little bit. because people see Braze as one of them crazy street dudes. People see Finesse as a street guy done been to jail. Like, so, but it seemed like Braze, I don't know, it just, when you look in the comments, and a lot of these comments and shit are manufactured, so you really can't go off that. But when I'm looking at it, it's like, I never seen Finesse kind of get online, do certain shit, so I can tell it was getting to him. Then he got his brother. You know what I'm saying? I can kind of tell it's kind of getting to him. It's moving him a little bit. It's fucking with him a little bit. It almost feels like Honeycomb done hurt his brand a little bit. Feel like Honeycomb done took a few shots at his brand. You know, he locked up now. People are saying Finesse celebrate him going to jail. I don't. That's nasty. I hope he ain't do that. You know, that's nasty, celebrating a nigga going to the jailhouse. That's nasty. I ain't gonna cap. That's nasty. I don't know if he done that, but I ain't with that. You don't celebrate jail. You don't wish jail on no nigga. Except the child molesters. Let them niggas go through hell. Child molesters and rapists, motherfuckers, like, let them go through hell, high water, eyelids off or something. But he kind of shifted the narrative on him a little bit. I seen his latest picture went viral. And people like, oh, man. So, you know, I don't know. I just think Honeycomb Bra had a very genuine chance. If you saw he had Birdman next to him, Jay Prince. Birdman flew all the way to Alabama, fuck with him in the middle of the war, came to his trap. See, Birdman a nigga move proper, all the security, we good. Let's move. Bulletproof, whatever. I'm having that kind of paper. So he moving a certain way, niggas moving a certain way, security, whatever. And he was on his way. He was trending on his music, and he went to jail. We'll see how they play it. I'm sure they're going to say, yo, that wasn't his. They'll figure that out. And we'll see. Let's move on.